Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first half of what is a Saturday afternoon twin bill between the men's and women's soccer teams of both Mount St. Mary and Purchase College. The first half of this one is the men's contest, and frankly, it is a tale of two very different trajectories for these two sides. The Mount St. Mary Knights have won 4 out of their last 5 and currently sit at 2-1-1 in conference. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Purchase Panthers have lost 6 of 7, including a 5-game losing streak from September 12th to September 24th. Their most recent contest, a Tuesday draw against SUNY Maritime to the tune of a 0-0 final. I'm Lucas Stackle as usual, and unfortunately it's just me today. Bob's services were requested elsewhere. He took them up on the invitation, and as a result, it is a one-man broadcast crew for both this game and the 4 o'clock women's contest. It is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. It is right around 1 o'clock. We are celebrating Alumni Weekend for the men's teams. If you'll remember, last week and against Manhattanville, we celebrated Alumni Weekend for the women's. So people are out and about, both on the sod field on campus and to my left and to my right. And we are about ready for some soccer as the Panthers break the huddle. At midfield, standout freshman Cam Welsh getting ready to kick this one off. We should be here for a good one. 1-3-1 in conference for Purchase compared to 2-1-1 for the Mount. Both sides looking to pick up what would be a crucial 3 points. Cam Welsh set to kick it away. We have the whistle, and it is time to party. 1:04 your time. Quinn Tynan sends it away way downfield. Jeremy Burgos gets it off the top of the head. That's headed towards the end line. It will be out of play behind the end line. That's Nicholas Nunez for Purchase opting to let that go. Early goal kick coming now for number 1, Luca Valeriano, the Panthers goalkeeper. Valeriano, 544 minutes on the year. 7 goals allowed in 7 games. 7 goals allowed, in 7 games played. His stat kick just over the head of the intended target. Panther got a foot on it. It's loose in front. And if you're Purchase, a side that's lost 6 of 7, you just have to find a way to get on the stat sheet by any way possible. Or rather, they've lost 5 of 6. They're winless in 6 of 7 as that ball finds its way back to Valeriano. Valeriano rifles that one upfield. The only man in the area is Wallace. He'll get a head on it. Wallace tried to get it up ahead to fellow W freshman Cam Welsh. That one rifled up along the near sideline. Good defensive play by Dale Allison to knock that one down. He'll work with it along the near far sideline up near the scorer's table. Here's Burgos now with a step. He's quickly swarmed by a couple of Panthers. Just has to get that one out of harm's way. Rifles one up ahead to Tynan. Tynan, beautiful lead pass. It's Mark with a step. Mark overran it, but it's loose in front. Hughes gets a shot, fires that one just high and to the left. So behind the end line, a goal kick coming for Valeriano, but a very good start on offense for Mount St. Mary. Valeriano, another goal kick. We'll see if Purchase has any sort of response. I mean, the Knights' offense was very good. The most recent contest for the Mount was a Monday night affair against Medgar Evers. That, of course, was a non-conference matchup as Horn rifles that one upfield. Perhaps some sort of miscommunication as Luca Lavini of Purchase was in the area. Just obviously lets that one go well out of bounds. But the Knights' most recent affair, a Monday night victory over Medgar Evers College to the tune of a 5-1 score. Of course, non-conferences don't count for anything towards the playoff push, but I mean, it is 3 points to what has been an impressive overall season for the Knights. They're currently sitting at 5-3-3, touting an impressive 3-1-1 home record. As, well, Hughes throws it in for Mark. Mark juggles with it, ends up losing it out of play along the near sideline. Hughes to throw it in again. Hughes well up ahead. It's Burgos. Burgos, a tall target. That pass just out of reach. Goes off the head of Alanganzi Seguencia. Bounces around a little bit. We have a whistle and our first stoppage. It'll be a free kick now for the Mount. J.C. Gutierrez a couple of yards outside the goalie box, set to take one away. Certainly close enough to shoot, but we are only 3 minutes and counting down to the contest. 42-14 to play. Gutierrez very well has the option to put this one on the net. It's a matter of whether or not he chooses to do so. The Knights crowd the far end of the box. The referees will ensure that the parties are in their appropriate places. The whistle and another stoppage. The referee has said what needed to be said. We appear set to kick it away. Here's Gutierrez. Gutierrez, the Knights looking to tack one on early. It's not a shot. Rifles that one towards the middle. Caroms off a Panther. Goes straight up. Burgos gets another head on it using all 6'5". Here's Mazzarelli putting an impressive effort in. physical defense there from Purchase. Mazzarelli gets it out, has that one blocked. It's still loose in front, and the referees are going to say Mazzarelli did lose the ball out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Purchase. So 3.5 minutes into the contest, and we're off to a fairly exciting start. Mount St. Mary, an impressive offensive start early. Liam Hughes had a shot on net, wasn't necessarily on target. And then Mazzarelli and the Knights tried to get something going deep in their attacking third. Nothing yet, but we're incredibly early into the contest, so I expect more of that to keep up. Here's Purchase just looking for any sort of response. Now here's Lavini, the lone captain on this Purchase squad, putting the moves on Gutierrez. He'll leave it for his teammate, number 88, Outman Aitsidi Ahmed from Wappingers Falls, New York. That's up along the near sideline. Purchase now operating out of their attacking third. Leaves it out for Sidi Ahmed. That one ends up out of play. That's loose. And it'll be a goal kick coming for Noah Horn, back in his blood red attire. If you missed the midweek action on Monday, he was in bright green. As an ambulance rushes past, very busy day here on Powell Avenue. It's lovely weather out. Surely people just going to spend time outdoors. As Hughes' pass up ahead for Mark. Off the mark, out of play. Throw in coming for Purchase. That pass up ahead gets it to Aitsidi Ahmed. As that bounces around, Allison gets a foot on it. The Knights just trying to get it out of the attacking third. That one hits the foot of Welsh. Welsh can't corral it, so Purchase will have to operate strictly out of midfield. Working it now through the midfield circle come the Panthers. Sliding effort from Hughes to kick that one straight up. Get that pass out of harm's way, giving chase along the near sideline. It's Lavini. He'll end up out of play. Throw in coming for Mount St. Mary. I believe it is Hughes to do the honors. Right next to that corner flag. Hughes will throw it in. He'll try to get it to Burgos. That pass well out of reach. Bouncing around, Burgos collides with the much shorter Alan Ganzi Seguenzia out of, and there's a stoppage. Free kick coming. Martin Nick Preli from Bedford, New York. Number 66. And a number I feel like you don't see very often across professional sports, nonetheless soccer. But Nick Preli in double six, set to take the free kick whenever the referees see fit. The kick on its way. The Panthers crash the box. The kick is a good one. It's a strong one. Really leaps. He'll get a head on it. Good play on defense. Burgos catches a foot, stumbles a little bit, but he's able to stay on his feet. Now here come the Knights in transition. Burgos end of the midfield circle, trying to cross the midfield line. Doesn't quite yet. Pass intended for Gutierrez, well behind him, as Nick Preli will leave it all the way across the field for Valeriano. Valeriano will boot that one right back where it came from. Allison gets a head on it. Caroms off a Panther. It's Purchase with motion going left to right. Mazzarelli. Good move. Mazzarelli will leave it all the way back deep. It's Bevavino. Bevavino gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez a couple of feet outside the midfield circle. He'll leave it back for Allison. Allison with a step, rolls that one on the ground, knocked down by Welsh. Welsh leaves it back deep. It's Wallace. Wallace for Tynan. Tynan back for Gutierrez. Gutierrez pass up ahead. It's Hughes. Hughes giving chase. Can he keep it in bounds? Yes, he can. Lavini there on defense for Purchase. Hughes working it along the near sideline. Hughes leaves it deep. It's Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli loses the ball, has that one taken away. And then that ball is taken away. Hughes' sliding effort knocks that one out of play, but it will be last touched by a Knight. Throw incoming now for Purchase. Purchase, that ball thrown in. It's Hughes. Hughes wears that one off the top of the head. Out of play. Throw in coming again for Purchase. Throw in once more. That one knocked down by Nick Preli. Nick Preli has his lunch money taken by Quinn Tynan. Tynan, one of three captains from Mount St. Mary. One of the usual three. Beautiful pass up ahead. It's Mark. Mark, good first touch. Centering pass. That one blocked. Ganzi Seguencia wears that off the head, out of play. So it will be the first corner kick of the match for either side with 37-11 and counting down here in the first half. The Mount definitely more opportunities on offense than Purchase so far to date, as it will be a corner kick. It'll be TJ Mark doing the honors. Sam Bevavino right in front of the goalkeeper, Valeriano. A few Knights around the box. It's a pass up ahead for Allison on a cut. It's loose, deflected out, but it'll be Mark right there on the rebound. Mark tries to get around the defender. does so, works it a little bit around, gets it to Mazzarelli at the top of the box. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it, and that one will squeak out behind the end line. Goal kick coming for Valeriano. So 0-0, 36-30 and counting down here in the first half. One corner kick for the Mount, which you all just saw. That is the only offensive statistic in the book right now for either side, as Purchase is going to try to string something together. They had a few chances to operate out of their attacking third just a little bit ago, but no shots on net, no shots on target yet for the blue and orange. As Valeriano will play that one off a bounce. It was Welsh in pursuit. He won't be able to get ahead on it, as the Panthers will begin to go the other way. Sliding effort from Gutierrez. Gutierrez able to knock that one off course, but the Panthers are going to able to come away with it anyway. Loose in front, operating, working from the near side, far sideline to the near sideline. It's loose in front, hits Mazzarelli. Lavini falls. Tynan gets a foot on it. Mazzarelli in the area, but can't catch up to it as that one's sent all the way back deep. Loose in front, and we have an offside. So the Panthers, perhaps a little overzealous in their pursuit of some offense, quickly whistled for offside, as Horn will leave it for Bevavino. Bevavino works it up to Allison. Allison takes a couple steps. He'll try and work it all the way up for Welsh. Welsh, good job coming down with that pass. Welsh will leave it for Tynan. Tynan has that pass picked off. Kicked loose in front. Here's Purchase now with numbers. That one taken away by Allison. Gutierrez will leave it for Welsh. Welsh and the Knights just trying to create any sort of separation. Purchase catching Mount St. Mary on their heels, perhaps just a little bit. As that ball finds its way back to Gutierrez, back to Allison. He'll swing it across to Bevavino. Bevavino rifles one up ahead. It's Hughes on foot. He's giving chase. Can he keep it in play? No, he cannot. Out of play. Whistle coming, throw in coming for the Purchase Panthers. The throw in from Nunez, not a good one, taken away by Tynan. Mazzarelli leaps, keeps it on his feet somehow, still loose in front. He's guarded tightly by Gonzi Seguencia. As that one's out of play, returned just to the left of the Panther bench. Another throw in, it's Mark. Mark, he'll leave it for Hughes. Hughes, good volley for Mark. Mark, can he catch up to it? No, he cannot. Out of play, again off a Panther. The referee not fooled by Purchase's attempt to get that call reversed. That's Ait Sidi Ahmed saying he last touched the ball. That pass picked off by Sidi Ahmed. Hughes' throw-in quickly taken away. That one's kicked straight up, bouncing around a little bit. That one's headed towards the clock table. Bevino will let it go out of play. Karam's off the trainer's table. Throw-in again for Mount St. Mary. It's Liam Hughes from almost exactly the midfield line. Hughes, a strong throw-in. It's Burgos. Burgos bodying up, guarded again by the much shorter Gonzi Seguencia. Burgos puts a move on. Now he has a step. Perhaps lost the ball. Burgos falls, tripped, ends up out of play behind the end line. Burgos gets up, looks around for some help. Help he will not get. And a goal kick coming for Purchase. Valeriano fires away. A little over 10 minutes in the contest. We have a whistle and a stoppage. If I had to guess, a couple of parties checking on their shoes, perhaps an untied lace or something. And we'll do the goal kick again. So neither side has found their stride on offense. They've the time of possession fairly even. If I were a betting man, I would say it's currently leaning the way of the Knights. But neither side with any serious threat on offense yet. And of course, we're incredibly early into the contest. Both sides, of course, just looking to find their footing. As that throw in Karam's off the head of Ait Sidi Ahmed. Takes a bounce. Still loose in front. Lavini gets a head on it now, off the foot of Mark. Mark trying to make something happen, has that one taken away. Moving the other way, it's Luca Ramirez. Ramirez gets it upfield. Good job by Welsh getting a body on someone. Leaves it now for Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets it back to Welsh, who gets it back to Gutierrez, who tries to get it all the way back to Tynan. Tynan quickly picked up. That's number 20, Sebastian Ford. Ford now goes to pick up Allison. Ford just following the ball. Now it's Bevavino as the Knights swing it across the field. Now Mazzarelli takes a shove in the back, stays on his feet, gets a clean pass off. It's Allison. Allison, that one poked away by Ford. Getting a foot on it is Nick Prelli. Nick Prelli loses it. Tynan gets a foot on it. Now the Purchase Panthers are just going to try and play keep away all the way back to Valeriano. Valeriano takes his time, fires one for Nunez, quickly picked up by Mark. Nunez's pass deflects off the chest of Mark, and the Knights are going to be able to turn that into a turnover. Good defense. Lavini bullies Gutierrez. Sorry, that's number 8, Felix Robinson. So Robinson with some physical defense, able to take the ball away from Gutierrez, but that one ends up out of play, last touched by Purchase. Burgos gets a foot on it. Burgos leaves it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli quickly picked up by Lavini and Nick Prelli. Out of play, right in front of the Purchase bench. The referees will say it's going to stick with White. Liam Hughes to throw it in once more. Hughes looking for the open man, leaves it. It's Burgos. He'll play it off a short hop. He's guarded by Gonzi Seguencia. Burgos tries to get around. Good defense there. That one taken away. Burgos down. He appears a little shaken up. We hope he's okay. He did miss time earlier this year due to a nagging injury. Burgos yet to get up. The referee calls for the clock to be stopped. So Burgos up and moving under his own power, but he did immediately leave the field, so we can only hope he's okay, as both sides take advantage of the stoppage of play. Burgos turns down the medical cart, likely heading to the training table. And so into the contest, or appearing to check into the contest for the Mount in place of the injured Burgos, number 28, Jack Hoffman. Hoffman, a frequent flyer in Coach Kevin Longacre's rotation. So the clock stopped at 31 minutes and 3 seconds. We hope Burgos is all right, as Bevino will just leave it all the way back for Horn. Horn poke checks it for Bevino. Bevino quickly picked up by Lavini and Ford. Here's Allison. Ait Sidi Ahmed on defense. Gets it to Bevino. Bevino will leave it across for Allison. Allison operating across the midfield, now heading towards the far sideline. Rifles that one up ahead. It's Welsh with a step, but he is just out of reach. It's Luca Ramirez getting it away. That one quickly rifled off somebody by number 77, Jacob Pence. So a lot of high numbers in this Purchase lineup, as number 66, number 77, and number 88 are all currently on the field for the Panthers, with number 99, Nicholas Sheridan, first-year goalkeeper, of course, waiting in the wings. Sheridan has also gotten a solid amount of minutes this year, 445. And now here's Hoffman, fresh into the game with room. Centering pass, it's a good one. Here's Mazzarelli just outside of the box, doesn't have time to get a shot off. He's quickly swarmed by two Panthers. Out of play. No, in play. No referee in the area to call that one out of bounds. And now it ends up out of bounds for real. It's Liam Hughes to throw it in. Hughes at the bottom left of your screen gets it to Mazzarelli, who leaves it right back for Hughes, towing the near sideline. It's still loose in front, now sent back towards the middle of the field. Ford the intended target. Bevino and Tynan there on defense. Ford able to get it out. Quickly swarming the Purchase attacker are Tynan and Mark. Mark backs off. Tynan can't quite get a foot on. Now here's Gutierrez. That ball loose in front. Horn gets hands on it at the earliest available moment. And nothing doing for Purchase. 29-15 left to play. Horn thinking about what he wants to do with the ball. Drop kicks it now. That ball to land just outside of the midfield circle. It was Mark and Nunez in the area. Nunez ultimately wins that battle. Now here's Purchase with speed. Hard fall. Bevino just looking to throw a body on someone for defense. And a pretty instant reaction from the referee. That'll be a yellow card. So Sam Bevino just looking for any way to stop the fast break. Gets a body on Outman Ait Sidi Ahmed. Sidi Ahmed falls. The referee quickly blows the whistle. First yellow card of the contest. No serious objection from any Mount party. And so on comes a free kick. Probably about 20-ish yards outside the box. They asked me to broadcast, not to make proper estimation, so of course take it with a grain of salt. I mean, this ball could be shot if Purchase chooses to do so. A 4-man wide wall has been formed for the Mount right in front of the ball. It's either Lavini or it appears to be Sidi Ahmed to take the kick for Purchase. The Panthers have 4 men to the left of the box. It will not be a shot. It'll be a design play. Lavini fires and scores. Wow. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't like that, frankly, you don't like soccer. What a play design that was from the Purchase Panthers. And the captain, Luca Lavini, gets Purchase out in front, 1-0. Correction, I believe a goal was scored by number 8, Felix Robinson. But the point still stands. What a shot from Felix Robinson, the sophomore midfielder from the Bronx. And much like the Yankees, unfortunately this week, teams and players from the Bronx seemingly just know how to handle business. 1-0 Purchase here early. Is that ball bouncing around? And do the Knights have any sort of answer? The struggling Purchase side throws the first punch, drawn first blood, and we'll see if the Knights are able to get up off the mat. Plenty of time here to play in this first half. 28 minutes and 20 seconds and counting down. Hoffman giving chase, as is Valeriano. Valeriano will pick it up last second. It'll be a goal kick again for Purchase. So the Panthers, a 1-0 lead. And, of course, amid their 5-game losing streak and 6 out of 7 winless streak, they've been shut out in 3 of those games. And they haven't scored multiple goals in any of them. So Purchase scoring fairly early into the match is a good sign, hopefully a good sign of things to come if you're a fan of the blue and orange. And that is the first shot on goal for either side. And, of course, teams currently shooting at a 100% clip. Purchase, of course, being 1-for-1. As that ball lobbed it in. It's a good pass. Goes off the head of number 17, Parker Lewis. Fresh into the game for the Panthers. There's Gutierrez. That one rifled up ahead by Hughes. It's Hoffman now. Hoffman working with it. He's picked up by Ganzi Seguencia. That one ends up out of play. It'll go the way of the Panthers. Anthony Goncalves to throw it in for Purchase. So a flurry of substitutions for the Panthers. Goncalves' throw goes off of Ait Sidi Ahmed and out of play. It's Hughes to throw it in. Hughes rifles that one for Tynan. Tynan wears that one off the chest, gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez just has to get it all the way back. It's Allison. Allison sends that one back across the midfield line. There's nobody home. Valeriano gets a foot on it, knocks it down. And he has plenty of room to operate. Now here's Cam Welsh coming in just to check on him. Now Valeriano picks it up. Fires away. It's a low-line drive. That one hits just inside the midfield circle around the C in MSMC. As Wallace gets a foot on it, pokes that one somewhere, gets it back to Wallace. Wallace gets it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli takes a shove from the goal scorer, Robinson. Now here's Bevavino. Bevavino gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez for Allison. Allison, it's Tynan, almost exactly at middle of the field. Tynan now up ahead for Mark, and that's offside. So a good chance was brewing, but TJ Mark just unable to stay on side. It was a good pass up ahead from Tynan. The Knights just unable to put it all together just yet. And it'll be a free kick now for Purchase. It's Nick Prelli to fire it away. Nick Prelli, that is a bomb. Loose in front. Bevavino gets a head on it just to get it out of the goalie box. Tynan rifles that one up ahead. It's Wallace. Now here's Welsh with speed. Welsh got it. Welsh now, it's Hoffman. Hoffman, guarded by Ganzi Seguencia, has that one poked away. Now it's Tynan. Tynan all the way across the field, gets it to Hughes. Hughes, room to operate. He'll leave it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, that pass goes through his legs. Robinson unable to corral it. Now Gutierrez, good pass up ahead. Mazzarelli with speed, beats the goalkeeper. It's loose. Wide open, centering pass. Hoffman was there, can't get it. And it looked like Mazzarelli had a chance. He had full possession of the ball. He had beaten the goalkeeper. Of course, a tough angle with the help defense. But Hoffman was there. Should he have chosen to pass it? And that feels like a missed opportunity there for the Mount. In a game you're already losing 1-0, and to be quite honest, so far, offense has been at a premium. That feels like Mazzarelli necessarily doesn't have to take that one all the way, but that feels like one where you have to at least get a shot off. Now here's Mazzarelli with room. He'll shoot that one. Valeriano goes to the ground, makes the routine save, but that is the first shot on goal of the contest for the home team. Valeriano fires that one away. Bevavino wears it off the head. That caroms straight back. And so with some help from the Knights, Valeriano pretty much just kicked that one the length of the field. As Horn has two options, he'll go with the closer one. It's Bevavino. Bevavino gets it to Mark. Mark rolls it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez guarded by Robinson, who gets it to Allison. Allison picked up by Lewis. Allison's kick. A low line drive that hits off a Panther. That's number 3, Luca Ramirez. As that one's still loose, it's Hughes to Bevavino. Bevavino gets it to Mark. Mark for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, he's quickly picked up by Nick Prelli, and he'll leave it for Welsh. Welsh to Tynan. Tynan, that pass hits somebody. Karen straight up. Leaping effort from multiple parties, and coming away with it is Sidi Ahmed. Sidi Ahmed gets it to Yahir Tafoya. Tafoya maintains possession of the ball, earns himself some room to operate. Mark now plays some defense. Tafoya takes off. He'll swing it along the far sideline. That one bulleted up ahead. It's Allison. That pass deflected by Lewis. Lewis couldn't quite corral. Now here's Tynan. Tynan, good spin move, able to get around. And the Knights really right now just can't get any kind of breathing room. Purchase suffocating defense. It isn't quite a press, but they are face guarding every night where they get the ball, even if it is deep in Mount St. Mary's own end. And so far, the Knights just don't know how to react. There's Gutierrez. Chips that one up ahead. Good pass. It's Welsh. Gets a body on it. Now there's the Knights operating on their own attacking third. Good sliding defense there from Ramirez, preventing the centering pass from getting to its intended target. Throw-in coming now for the Mount. Throws that one in, intended for Hoffman. Getting ahead on it is Parker Lewis. That one will go harmlessly behind the end line. Out of play. Another goal kick for Valeriano and company. So Mount St. Mary currently trailing 1-0. The Purchase defense has played quite well. And of course, I mean, you can get technical. You can chalk up that Purchase goal to being a mental mistake for the Knights. Of course, as that goal came on a free kick, that was the result of the yellow card on Sam Bevavino. So far, that is the only yellow card of the contest for either side, as that one threatened to go out of play. Cam Welsh gets a foot on it, keeps it alive. Here's Tynan. Tynan towards the middle of the field. That one will go all the way into the goalie box. TJ Mark was in the vicinity, just unable to get a leg up. And now Mark will check on Valeriano. Valeriano picks up the ball. Has Anthony Goncalves right next to him, just opts to kick it away. That one more straight up will land in the midfield circle, so that kick right on target, depending on how you want to look at it. Now here's Sidi Ahmed, guarded by Allison. Then Purchase looking for some insurance. That one rifled up ahead. Tafoya, good pass. It's Robinson again. Horn gets a body on it. Karam's off the chest. Stays loose, and then Horn just falls on it. So Noah Horn picks up his first save of the contest, and it stays 1-0. So Horn now has some time. Purchase not pressing the goalkeeper. Horn sends that one straight up. Closer now to the camera side of the field. Here is Gonzi. Gets it to Robinson. Robinson will leave it for Nick Prelli. Nick Prelli tried to get that one to Lewis. It's blocked by Hughes. Ends up towards the feet of Robinson. Mark gives Robinson a shove. No whistle. Allison. Now it's Welsh. Welsh all the way across the field over the head of Bevavino. Hughes is in the area. Hughes leaves it for Bevavino. Lewis in the area, comes to check on him. Bevavino gets rid of it. Here's Mazzarelli now with speed. Him and Gonzi Seguencia. Gonzi Seguencia. An impressive defensive contest for that young man already. Hoffman takes away the ball. A hard fall for Gonzi Seguencia. He's down. So the Mount St. Mary faithful not too pleased with that one. Even though it does seem the referee did have the proper grounds to make that call. Hoffman is fired up. So despite the 1-0 deficit, some energy here from the Mount and their fans. As mentioned, it is Alumni Weekend, celebrating the alumni from the men's soccer team, a reflection of last week, which was dedicated to celebrating the alumni from the women's team. So the sod field, Hudson Hall, and the tennis courts all strewn with people doing various summer activities, food, games, and many such things. And of course, the usual faithful for either side, the visiting fans to my left, the home fans to my right. As here's Welsh with some room to work. Welsh leaves it now for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, good spin move, gets around Robinson, generates himself some space, nicely done, tries to get that one up ahead. It's a sliding effort from Gonzi Seguencia, who has been everywhere on defense for Purchase. That one taken away by Tynan. Nick Prelli throws up his hands, doesn't love the call. The referee, of course, not moved. And another free kick coming for Mount St. Mary. The referee makes sure the ball is spotted in the appropriate spot. Parker Lewis is in the area. He's guarding the ball from, of course, a safe distance. Both the safe distance and the legal distance. And so with 18:15 left to play, Gutierrez will send this one in deep. See if bodies in front. Mazzarelli gets a head on it. Kicks straight up. That goes off the crossbar. It's still loose. Bevavino gets another head on it. And he'll send it over the crossbar. Up on top of the cage. Out of play. So a solid chance there for Mount St. Mary as Gutierrez sends it in deep. Mazzarelli got a head on it, hits the crossbar. Bevavino got a head on it. That one ends up out of play. And now fresh into the contest for Purchase, number 11, Oliver Brown. As there's a whistle, a stoppage, and presumably a free kick. And will be a goal kick. So perhaps Valeriano was a little overzealous. No, it will be a free kick, as Nick Prelli and Valeriano just play catch. And Nick Prelli has already shown some impressive power in kicking the ball away tonight, or this afternoon rather. We will not see any of that as he just dumps it off to Robinson. And Robinson gets it to Luca Ramirez along the far sideline. That one ends up out of play. Throw-in coming for Purchase. Lewis wears that one off the head. An impressive ability just to get that one on target. Now here's Ymir Tafoya. Tafoya, good move. Gets Tynan to come out of his shoes. Tafoya is still working with the ball. Now he'll leave it for Brown, fresh into the contest. Brown now for Goncalves. Working along the near sideline right around the corner. Gets it back to Brown. Brown has that one deflected. Bevino gets a foot on it. He'll leave it for Mark. Mark leaves his feet to knock that ball down. Now here's Ramirez. Ramirez leaves it for Robinson. Robinson, a threat from anywhere, as evidenced by that first goal we just saw. It's Nick Prelli. He's guarded by Hughes. Hughes sliding effort. Nick Prelli falls. The referees will say it is last touched by Hughes. So Nick Prelli to throw it in. Does so, gets it off. It's a good one. Intended for Lewis. Good defense there from the Mount. Allison sends that one out of play. That one ends up almost onto Powell. So it'll be another throw-in for Purchase. The Panthers trying to get one more before the end of the first half. 15:53 to play here in half number 1. Intended for Lewis. Tynan was in the area. That ball never saw either party. Bounces around the goalie box, and now here's the Knights just trying to get it out of harm's way. They do so successfully. As Pence tries to get that one away from Welsh, he can't. Now does so successfully. Now here's Ramirez. He'll leave it all the way deep for Valeriano. Valeriano is outside of the goalie box, can't use his hands, has to get rid of it quickly. Does so with Mazzarelli in the area. As there's a whistle, a stoppage, and it will go the way of the Knights. So Purchase, despite the cold streak and despite the slow start to conference, I mean, they're 1-3-1. They are leading today. And the only similar opponent, or rather the only similar conference opponent that Purchase and Mount St. Mary have had are Manhattanville. And Manhattanville has beaten both of them. They beat Purchase to the tune of a 4-1 final score. And if you'll remember, I was in the booth for this one. Last Saturday, it was Manhattanville beating the Mount 2-0. There's Gutierrez, almost exactly on the midfield side, closer to the scorers table. Sends that one in deep. It's a good one. A sea of white. Valeriano will make the catch untouched. Looks like he was fielding a punt. As here's Hughes, gets a foot on it. He's guarded tightly by Brown. As Mark and Hughes combine to get the ball away from Brown. Mark slips. Brown able to get away from it. And now it's Tynan again. Tynan booted upfield. Here's Mark. Mark in the area. Goncalves there on defense. Mark centering pass. That one caroms off Goncalves. Hoffman is there. Works just outside of the box. Hoffman throws a body. Now he trips. Has Robinson on defense there for Purchase. Hoffman and Robinson going at it. We have a stoppage. And the second yellow card of the contest awarded to a Mount St. Mary Knight. That's Jack Hoffman. Again, a frequent flyer in Coach Kevin Longacre's rotation. Hoffman always physical. The fans, of course, disappointed in the call. Whether or not that was the right one, of course, is subjective. But either way, Hoffman penalized. Second yellow card of the half for the Mount. And in a game where you're losing 1-0, I mean, physical soccer, of course, is a good thing. But too physical, you get too aggressive, you begin to play outside of your game, then you have a problem. And of course, despite the deficit, as that free kick happened just a little too soon. I mean, it's still being down 1-0 or being down any amount, of course, is less than ideal, but 14 minutes to play in the first half, and you still have there's almost 60 minutes of soccer left to play. So, I mean, of course, if you're the Mount, I mean, head on a swivel, you're already down 1, but keeping your composure is this very important thing. As Hughes, a sliding defensive effort, forces that one out of play. 13:50 and counting down now for the folks at home. As that one's loose, still in front, out of play. And another throw-in now for Purchase. So Mount St. Mary has taken the advantage in shots on goal, but of course Purchase still has the game's only goal. As that throw-in, an impressive effort by Sidi Ahmed just to knock that one down. And it will be another throw-in. This one finally will go the way of the Knights. Coming into the contest for Mount St. Mary, number 13, Alex Napoli. He'll come on in relief of fellow freshman number 15, Cam Welsh. So Hughes to throw it in, sizing up the appropriate target. Tried to get it to Hoffman, threw that one into double coverage. Sidi Ahmed and Oliver Brown in the area. They'll say that last touched a Panther. Hughes to throw it in again, gets it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli fairly open. Now it's Lewis coming in on defense. Lewis chasing down Allison. Allison gets rid of it. Perhaps a bit of a panic pass there from Dale Allison, as that one is over everybody. Makes its way all the way back for Purchase. Valeriano now. Hoffman comes in to knock on his door. Valeriano picks it up. Now gets it away. That pass is a good one. Gets it to Parker Lewis. Lewis, poor first touch, ends up out of play. Caroms off his foot towards the far sideline. So in front of the Mount Faithful, it'll be Ethan Wallace doing the throwing in. Gutierrez, the intended target, able to knock it down, but can't make a possession out of it. Here's Tynan, good help defense, has that one poke-checked from somebody. That one's loose all the way along the far sideline. A scramble for the ball. Hughes gets a head on it. That one's going to bounce around. Mazzarelli plays the bounce. It's Brown, 11 on 11. Hughes takes advantage of the loose ball, just gets it out of harm's way, but it'll be Luca Ramirez. As he falls, no whistle, and a late whistle. So Jacob Pence drawing the foul for Purchase. Rousing applause from him. Good job drawing a penalty there. Coach Kevin Longacre, 14th season here at the Mount, pacing up and down the sideline. Having run into Coach Longacre a few times as a part of the job, I imagine he is certainly not too pleased with his team's performance to open the game. Again, the ever-active Powell Avenue and the many characters within it. As Robinson, the goal scorer, fakes. That one kicked up ahead. Robinson giving chase. Good centering pass. That one deflected. It's Wallace getting a foot on it. Brown now gets a foot on it for Purchase. It's bouncing around the goalie box. The Knights able to get it out. Here's Hoffman with speed. Just lobs that one over the head of Pence. Napoli gets a head on it. Ramirez, good job returning fire. Purchase able to keep it within their attacking third. Leaping effort. It's Lewis and Hughes. No whistle, but Purchase will come away with it. Mazzarelli will leave it for Hughes. Hughes for Bevino, and the Panthers defense swarming the Knights back four. That one, good job just to keep it in play. as it's Nick Prelli and Gutierrez emerging from behind the tent. Lewis takes a shove and a fall, no whistle. Sidi Ahmed and Mazzarelli, very physical contest for the ball. Sidi Ahmed takes that one away, kicks it up ahead. Tried to get it to Tafoya. Tafoya, good job getting a foot on it, but the pass wasn't good enough to be able to turn it upfield. Now here's Lewis Robinson, swarmed by Tynan and Gutierrez, forced to get a pass off. Good defense there for Mount St. Mary. There's Tynan now leading the counter push. Tried to get that one to Hoffman, just out of reach. Valeriano leaves the box. Perhaps he didn't kick that one as strong as he would have liked, but it does the job. Lewis falls, no whistle. And now here's Allison. Now here's Wallace along the near far sideline as a bunch of motorcycles drive past all at once. At least it sounds like, as we have a whistle on a stoppage. Single-digit minutes left to play here in the first half, 9:28 and counting down. If you're just now joining us, your score right now, 1-0 Purchase over the Mount St. Mary Knights. Free kick coming for the Panthers. Appearing ready to check into the game, another regular for the Mount, number 9, Ryan Keyser. Keyser along the sideline, no signal yet. As Brown wears that one off the chest, he's posted up on Hughes. Hughes plays defense along the near sideline, able to poke check that one out of play. Along the near sideline, closer to that corner. As it's Goncalves, leaves it for Lewis. Lewis guarded by Hughes. Lewis falls, which seems to be a recurring theme. Parker Lewis getting thrown around. Has yet to draw a foul, but if this keeps up, surely he will. As that one's still loose in front. Luca Ramirez gets a foot on it as Ethan Wallace comes in hard, sliding defensive effort. And Ramirez slow to get up. That is physical soccer, and the referee has time to think about it. And he'll talk to Nick Prelli for reasons unknown. Perhaps Nick Prelli had some choice words. Of course, being on the other end of the field, you're just supposed to guess these things. As joining Keyser along the sideline, waiting to come into the game, number 18, Christos Argyros, again from the Bronx, a first year. He's checking into the game. As Keyser removes the penny, he'll come on in relief of Hoffman. Hoffman, of course, a recipient of a yellow card earlier in the game. 8:14 to play. The clock is stopped. Of course, for the referee to surely get some final statements off and allow time for the substitutes to come on. A throw in now for Purchase. Still loose in front. That one bouncing around a little bit. And it's Purchase coming with it. Now here's Tafoya. Ymir Tafoya has that one taken away by Marco Mazzarelli, and just blasting that one upfield is, I believe, Alex Napoli. And there's a whistle. No serious offense, but of course the Mount St. Mary faithful, again off all to my right, very upset about the call. And it'll be Nick Prelli to take the free kick for Purchase. Nick Prelli, that one blocked by Keyser. Keyser, a fresh set of legs, providing some exciting defense. And it's Ganzi Seguenzia just having to get rid of it. So, if nothing else, that looked incredible as Keyser goes up, blocks the kick. Hughes takes a hard fall, and there's a foul. There's a stoppage. The referee quickly awards a whistle to Alwin Ganzi Seguenzia. And no malicious intent there, at least if I had to guess. Ganzi Seguenzia just had his back turned to Hughes, inadvertently tabletopped the Knights' standout defenseman. And with 7:20 to play here in the first half, the Knights have an opportunity. Here's TJ Mark on the free kick, just a stone's throw away from the goalie box. Again, certainly close enough to put a shot on net. It's just a matter of what the Knights elect to draw up on offense. As Gutierrez, around the middle of the field, he's tightly mirrored by Anthony Goncalves, and then a collection of Knights towards the top right of the goalie box. So the Knights have plenty of options here. We'll see what they choose to do. It's Mark. See if Knights take off. Bevavino tried to get a head on it, leaped for it, couldn't get it. Out of play, that one headed towards the sideline, out of bounds. And the referees will say that it last touched a Panther. So Mount St. Mary will get to do it again. 7 minutes left in the first half. Here's Tynan. Tynan to throw it in. It's a good one. Keyser wears that one off the chest. Now here's Tynan. Tynan a little bit of room to operate. Just outside the box. Has that one poke checked by Pence. Pence, good defense there for Purchase. Here's Brown. Brown forgot the ball. Wallace now to Gutierrez. Gutierrez back to Wallace. Wallace all the way back to Allison. Allison up ahead for Napoli. That pass deflected off someone. Now here's Tynan with a little bit of speed. Tynan outruns the defender. Can he catch up to the ball? Yes, he can. He kept it inbounds. Impressive effort there just to keep the ball from going out behind the end line. That one up, out of play. Wallace lets it go out of bounds. And so the Knights will have 6:15 to try and make something happen. Of course, they're already trailing by a goal. As that throw-in deflected by Pence. The kick deflected off Pence a second time. And now it's Mazzarelli. He got ahead on it. We'll leave it for Hughes. Hughes gets it all the way back deep for Horn. Horn, a low-line drive. Still loose, didn't get across midfield. There's Wallace, swing and a miss on the kick. And here's Allison. Allison, the last line of defense for the Mount, or a part of that core four that usually serves as the last line of defense. Now here's Mazzarelli with speed. He's guarded by Nick Prelli. Mazzarelli able to get a pass off. Now it's up ahead for Keyser. Keyser, he's guarded by Goncalves. We have a whistle and an offside. And so the second offside of the contest for the Knights squanders what felt like it could have been a good opportunity. Certainly had the makings of one, but of course if you're the Mount, you've been shut out the entirety of the half. You're just trying to find any sort of way to create some offense. As now Nick Prella shows off the leg talent, sends that one way downfield. It's a leaping effort. That'll be won by Ethan Wallace. Wallace wears that one off the head. Here is Tynan. He's picked up by Brown. Tynan launches that one upfield. In the area is Mark, but a leaping effort from Gonzi Seguenzia. He continues to add to what has been already an impressive defensive effort here this afternoon. Mazzarelli creates space, can't create room to shoot, and he'll leave it deep for Gutierrez. Gutierrez for Tynan. Tynan up ahead. It's Napoli with room. Valeriano plays the long hop. He'll grab it up around his head. It looked like for a second there Napoli was going to have a chance to beat him. That, unfortunately, does not come to fruition, and now that goal kick is absolutely launched. Goes over the head of Bevino. He'll just let it go all the way out of bounds. So the Knights will have to operate coast to coast here. Hughes sizes up the open man, tried to get it to Keyser. That one goes off one of the two parties, but it ends up in the lap of Ymir Tafoya. Tafoya to a Panther, conveniently placed right behind this blue tent. Now it's Luca Ramirez. Ramirez gets it to Sidi Ahmed, who gets it back to Ramirez, who now works it upfield, leaving it for Brown. Brown's pass for Goncalves. Goncalves, 3:50 to play. That pass, Mazzarelli there on defense, tried to get it to Tafoya. Tafoya somehow comes away with it, at least I think. That one rifled up ahead. Parker Lewis was in the area. That ends up out of play. And so here from the broadcast booth / folding table, I can see a solid 98% of the field. The 2% I can't see is right behind this canopy that is shading the trainer's table. And of course the canopy is there if somebody's getting work on, or if somebody's getting worked on, they have a right to be in the shade. But it does create a bit of an obstruction when I'm trying to call the game, as Allison will leave that one for Napoli. Napoli tightly guarded and tries to get that one to Tynan. Tynan receives it, but hammers that one out of bounds right off the fence. And right in front of the Go Knights sign, it'll be Jacob Pence to throw it in. Pence throws it in, low line drive. Somebody takes a dive. I believe is not Parker Lewis, a frequent diver. As Mazzarelli, he's double teamed, tries anything just to get rid of it, can't. The Purchase defense has been suffocating so far tonight. There's Mazzarelli and Tynan, a bit of a miscommunication there between the two Mount captains. There's Napoli with a bit of a speed, has that one taken away. That one's still in play somehow, as it bounces a whole bunch of bodies around the sideline. Somehow stays in play, still in play. Mazzarelli leaping effort around the midfield line, couldn't come down with it. A Panther slid in there, forced the ball out. There's Gutierrez as both sides just volleyed along the midfield line. Allison's pass short to Foya, gets in there, gets a foot on it, but now here's Mark. Mark operating out of midfield, waiting for numbers. He is tackled, or borderline tackled by Luke Ramirez. Ramirez with the hands on the waist. Never a good sign. We're under 2 minutes to play. Tynan set to take the free kick whenever appropriate. 1:43 to play. We'll see if the Knights have some magic in them to close out the half. Tynan, from right outside the midfield circle, gets it to Mark. Mark leaves at his feet. Mazzarelli gets a shot off just wide. And what a solid opportunity that was. Mazzarelli had just enough room to shoot. It was a good shot. Ends up just to the right of the post. Out of play behind the end line. And ladies and gentlemen, your score remains 1-0. Valeriano to kick it away. Does so successfully. Parker Lewis, the intended target, a leaping effort. And the referees are not too pleased with Lewis. It'll be a free kick coming for Gutierrez. 50 seconds and counting down. We'll see if the Knights can beat the buzzer. No sense of urgency to get the ball away yet, as the Knights are looking just to set up a play. Everybody in position. Gutierrez fires that one deep. Bevavino in the area. A leaping effort. Getting a head on it is Gonzi Seguencia. Does so successfully. Now here's the Panthers in transition. We'll see if they have any last-minute magic in them. Now Allison takes that one right away. Allison across the field. It's Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli just outside the midfield circle. He's shoved. That one taken away by Sidi Ahmed. He's got 18 seconds to work with. Sidi Ahmed picked up by Gutierrez. Loses the ball. Kicks that one off the shins of Guti and out of play. The public address now speaking. The countdown is on. Technically a throw-in, but it'll be a throw-in that never comes. So that ball ending out of play will take us to the half. Your score at halftime, the Purchase Panthers 1, the Mount St. Mary Knights 0. So far, the lone difference maker, a really impressive goal from Felix Robinson, scoring from way outside on a free kick. Well, that was a nifty play the Panthers had drawn up. I'm Lucas Stackpole, as usual. Normally, I'd swing it to my color man, Bob Hauk, but as aforementioned, Bob is off to bigger and better things. So, ladies and gentlemen, your score at halftime, Purchase 1, the Mount 0. I will be back in roughly 14 and a half minutes for the second half of action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to sunny Kaplan Field. It is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in October. The Purchase Panthers currently leading the Mount St. Mary Knights by a score of 1-0. And this beautiful October weather finally just starting to set in. I mean, a lot of the games Bob and I did, it was nice out, but it was warm. Now it's finally starting to feel like fall. I mean, it's been a busy start to October, too. I mean, college football, NFL football, the Major League playoffs finally underway. The immensely popular Taylor Swift just dropped a new album, I'm sure to the delight of fans everywhere. I've heard good things, so hopefully big things coming for what is probably the biggest star on the planet right now. The scoreboard shows 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the half, but both sides appear ready to take the field. The Knights have broken the huddle. The Panthers appear to be headed that direction. And so again, as aforementioned, Purchase leads 1-0. But interestingly enough, the Knights lead in every offensive category. So the Panthers, despite having the 1-0 lead, they've mustered only 2 total shots, which have accumulated into being their 2 shots on goal, in comparison to 5 total shots for the Mount, and only 1 shot on goal for Mount St. Mary. So the scoreboard perhaps a bit deceptive, as the scoreboard suggests the Knights currently have 3 shots on goal. That, of course, not true according to this paper in front of me. And so the Panthers have been relying on the defense. It was a beautiful goal scored by Felix Robinson so far. That has been the difference maker. Robinson with 16:09 to play in the first half. So we appear all ready to get the second half started. That is Parker Lewis at midfield. He closed out the first half but did not start the game. It's time to party, as Lewis will leave it for Robinson, who'll leave it all the way back deep for Gonzi Seguenzia. And we are underway here in the second half. Has that one quickly taken away? It's Ethan Wallace. Wallace leaves it now. It's Marzarelli was in the area. That was TJ Mark on the attack as Tynan gets a head on it. He'll leave it now for Bevino. Bevino for Wallace right here along the near sideline. Now it's Allison. Allison with speed. He'll work his way around Lewis. He'll get it to Welsh along the near sideline. Welsh, a first year, he has been having an incredible season as he takes a shove in the back from Robinson. He'll fall. No whistle. Now here's Nick Prelli for Purchase, and that kick a laser all the way across the field. Bevino is in the area. Also in the area for Purchase, Luca Lavini, the lone captain for the blue and orange. Bevino will leave it for Mazzarelli, who will leave it for Mark, who gets it all the way back towards the middle of the field. He gets it to Tynan. Tynan's pass for Hughes, just a bit inaccurate, bounces around a little bit. So Hughes will leave it for Bevino, who will leave it back deep for Hughes. Now takes a bounce. It's Keyser in the area. Keyser closed out the first half of the Mount, but again was not a member of the starting 11 here this afternoon. Gutierrez waltzes around the midfield circle, passes it across for Keyser. Keyser, good leading pass up ahead. It's Wallace all by himself. He stays on side. Good first touch. Just fires a shot right into the chest of Luca Valeriano. So Valeriano gets tested early. He meets the challenge, and it stays 1-0. So 90 seconds into the half, the Knights able to generate some offense. Good start, as there's a whistle, a stoppage, and a free kick coming from Mount St. Mary. And so, I mean, this 1-0 Purchase made good on the best opportunity of the night, and so far, really, that has just been the story of the game. Purchase has cashed in on that one free kick. They got just outside the box as that one's poked up ahead. It's Mark giving chase. He's unable to come away with the ball. That's Luca Ramirez on defense. Now on towing the far sideline, it's Bevino getting a foot on it. He'll leave it for Mazzarelli. It's Mark. Mark guarded by Goncalves. They both fall. No whistle. The ball ends up out behind the end line, and both parties appear a bit shaken up. TJ Mark first to his feet. The injured Panther still down. And we will take a brief break as the trainer goes out to check on him. So the injured Panther, number 2, Anthony Goncalves. He's checked on by the medical staff. Goncalves now up and moving under his own power. He appears okay. No substitution yet lined up for Purchase. Hopefully he's well enough to remain in the contest. A few Panthers up and moving on the sideline, but no sign yet on whether Goncalves is to come out. And having been checked on, I believe Goncalves does have to come out, at least for a little bit, to ensure he's okay. As Valeriano's free goal kick, a low-line drive right at the feet of Tynan. Tynan, good first touch, able to come away with it. That one quickly pickpocketed by Lavini. And now Lavini hits the deck. He's slow to give up. He's slow to get up, and coming back into the contest now is Goncalves. He's passed the necessary exams and is returned to field for Purchase. Always a good sign, and now it's Ymir Tafoya. That pass across the field, good defense there from Gutierrez. He'll wear that one off the chest. And now the Knights are going to look to turn that into some offense as Bevavino just flicks that one downfield. Mark, a leaping effort, unable to get ahead on it. He's picked up by Goncalves. He appears fine. As Mazzarelli takes a stumble. It'll be a whistle and another free kick now for the Mount. Gutierrez to do the honors. The Knights will go set up. Gutierrez, a strong leg, as evidenced by the frequent free kicks and, of course, a few highlight reel goals. Gutierrez makes sure all members of his party are ready, sends that one away. Lots of Knights down deep. Bevino wears that one off the head. Manages to put that one on the net. Rattles harmlessly off the chest of Valeriano and out of play. Would have been a good centering pass if Bevavino had anybody towards the middle of the box. But, I mean, that kick just took him to that back corner. Not too many people were home. As Bevavino lifts that one towards the far sideline. A Panther takes a fall, much to the disappointment of Bruno Ferreira, the first-year head coach for Purchase. Now here's TJ Mark. Mark takes a hard fall right in front of the referee. Mark, both arms raised. The referee will not answer his cries. And now it's Keyser. Keyser, good first touch, leaves it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez, good pass across the field. It's Welsh. Welsh, there's that one off the foot, first touch. Able to corral that one. He's face guarded by Nunez. Nunez now plays a little bit more of a pressing defense as Welsh swings that one for Gutierrez. Gutierrez swings it for Bevavino. Bevavino across for Allison. Allison guarded by Lewis as that one's loose in front. As Wallace gives chase. That one out near the sideline, out of play. We'll see whether the referees decide to award possession. No ruling yet. Both sides pleading their case. It's Tafoya and Wallace. The call on the field appears to be it'll go the way of the Knights, throwing it in Ethan Wallace. Wallace has time, fires away. Goes off the head of Sidi Ahmed. And so an impressive defensive effort for Purchase, just little by little gets a little bit more impressive. So Mount St. Mary has had select opportunities, but at least in the press or the defense, at least in Purchase's own end, has been incredible. As here's Tafoya, puts the moves on, swings it upfield for Nunez. Nunez, on the other side of the box, we have a whistle, a stoppage. Free kick coming for Mount St. Mary. Doing the honors is Wallace. Gutierrez and Bevino are in the immediate area. Should Wallace choose to make the safe pass, Gutierrez comes over. Parker Lewis in the vicinity for the blue and orange. Nick Prelli playing tight defense on Gutierrez as Wallace elects just to kick that one all the way downfield. Keyser gets a head on it. Karam's off to his left as Mazzarelli is there. Swings it upfield now for Keyser. Keyser outside the box. The Knights looking for the equalizer. Crossfield pass over everything. Tynan, good job just to get a foot on it. Able to keep that one in play, but not in the attacking third. Hughes gets a foot on it, sends that one back deep. As Purchase trying to get the ball out of their own end. Getting a foot on it is Nick Prelli. He'll leave it for Tafoya. Tafoya has that one taken away by Gutierrez. Gutierrez sliding effort. Nunez falls. Here's Welsh. Welsh with the step, centering pass. Sliding effort from Mark. That pass just out of reach. And so Purchase able to play some good defense there. preventing the Knights from ever getting any legitimate opportunity. The idea was there. Welsh's pass for freshman TJ Mark just out of reach. So the pieces are there. The Knights just yet to put them all together. Still 1-0, 37:50 to play here in the second half. An abundance of time. Mazzarelli room to shoot. Pass up ahead for Keyser. Just out of reach again. Valeriano falls on it. And so the Knights slowly knocking on the door. The deficit as of right now is still 1. The Knights looking for the equalizer. They certainly seemed poised to get it soon if they keep up this offense. Now here's Parker Lewis. Lewis, good defense. Loose in front. Horn on watch as Lavini was in the area. Robinson now comes to play defense on Gutierrez. That's Nick Prelli on the far side of your screen guarding Tynan. Tynan's pass all the way up ahead. Mark giving chase. Can't corral it. Valeriano rifles that one across field. It's Bevavino. That one caroms off a Panther. Sent all the way back across the field. Hughes now, as both sides just trading shots from a mortar. As there is a Panther shaken up. That's Sidi Ahmed. He's okay. Mark centering pass. Valeriano just lets it go through the goalie box, out of play behind the end line. I believe that was untouched. And the referees will say it was. Goal kick coming for Purchase. So, I mean, if you're the Panthers, you're not going to obviously park the bus, as Bob would put it. You're not going to play keep away for 36 minutes. But now, I mean, if you're Purchase, the focal point has definitely shifted into just playing defense. I mean, because the Panthers, of course, nursing a 1-goal lead. And for a Purchase side, of course, that has struggled through the last calendar month. Of course, we've mentioned a 5-game losing streak and 6 of their last 7 contests being winless. Of course, 5 losses and a tie. So if Purchase can hang on for a huge 3 conference points, they're currently sitting at 1-3-1. So Purchase's ability to play spoiler here on the road for what it has been a really strong start to the year for the Knights. At 5-3-3, they're 2-1-1 in conference. As Allison's able to poke that one away from Tafoya. Tafoya sliding tackle on Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli hobbles a little bit. We're hoping he's okay. Mazzarelli, of course, the leading scorer on this Knights side, as Nick Prelli bodies that one up. Wears that one off the body. Unable to come away with it. Now here's Tafoya. Tafoya, that pass. Good effort from Allison, hitting the deck to prevent that person from getting through. Nick Prelli gets a shot off just to the left of the net, out of play. Karam's off the screen there. It'll be a goal kick for Horn. Coming into the contest for Purchase, number 7, Spencer Wheeler. And Wheeler comes on for the captain, Lavini. So Purchase will give their leader a breather. Here's Horn. Allowing Purchase, of course, enough time to make the substitution. A chip shot for Bevavino. Bevavino operating out of his own goalie box. Gets it to Mark. Mark for Gutierrez. Gutierrez across the field, closer to midfield. Here's Welsh. Welsh with room to operate. Works it back towards the middle of the field. No pressing defense yet from Purchase. That pass for Wallace, not a good one. Wallace hunting it down. That centering pass. Valeriano falls on it. And so it was Welsh and Wallace that had a step. Welsh worked it back towards the middle of the field, tried to kick it back out towards the near sideline for Wallace. Again, for Mount St. Mary, the vision is there. The execution, again, just not quite. As here's Allison giving chase. Him and Parker Lewis collide. That one ends up out of play. A throw-in coming from deep within the attacking third for Purchase. All this talk about Purchase and their defense, of course, they are still the winners of this game as of right now. And a second goal to create even more separation would be huge, especially as that clock continues to count down. As Welsh, impressive effort just to maintain possession, but of course the double team proves to be too much, as Nick Prelli leaves it for Robinson, who leaves it for Tafoya. Tafoya has created enough separation to at least give himself time to think, as he'll work it back towards Nick Prelli. Nick Prelli picked up by Mazzarelli, who swings it back to Robinson. Robinson has some trouble with it. He loses it, and the Knights are able to get it out. Keyser up ahead, Welsh in the area, but I feel that was more just a dump and chase type of pass, as Purchase had a lot of time of possession within the Knights' end there on that most recent go of it. as Mazzarelli and Robinson get tied up. Nick Prella, good pass up ahead. Here's Tafoya. Tafoya with room. Tafoya with the step. Stays on side. That kick easily wrapped up by Horn. So Tafoya, of course, puts it right at the only guy in the area. Definitely the best chance for Purchase since the goal, as Robinson and Welsh both fall. Robinson helps Welsh up. No bad blood between the two. The referee quick to blow the whistle, but no serious offense, so it will be a free kick and nothing more. Free kick coming for Gutierrez. We've already talked about the leg talent he possesses. We'll see if he can put a ball in deep for the Mount. Gutierrez fires away. The Knights crash hard. It's Mazzarelli towards the middle of the field. Mazzarelli, the only guy over there. Valeriano makes the play. Marco got a head on it, and Valeriano, it was a contested save, but it appeared fairly routine as Valeriano quick to get rid of that ball. That pass, not a good one. Spencer Wheeler in the vicinity, but he never had a play on it. As Hughes will leave it for Tynan, who leaves it back for Hughes. Hughes' kick quickly deflected. It somehow stays in bounds. A sliding effort from Bevino, and still the ball stays in bounds. So the Knights, up along the far sideline, all they were trying to do was just get it out of bounds, and they couldn't do it. It hits off 3 or 4 different men before finally going out of bounds along the near sideline, right in front of the Purchase bench. It will be Knights' ball, as Wallace digs it out from under the sea of equipment right underneath the visitors' bench. Number 16 to throw it in for the Mount. That's Ethan Wallace. Leaves it for Keyser. That one ends up out of play, but it will be off a Panther, so Mazzarelli to throw it in. The Knights picking up a little bit of ground. Mazzarelli's throw in intended for Keyser. Smothering defense from Nunez. Nunez able to force it out of bounds, but another Mount throw-in. This one just to the left of the corner flag. Of course, here in this near corner. Wallace to throw it in. Your score still 1-0. 30-40 to play and counting down. The Knights still looking for that equalizer. The 28th minute of the half, the 28th minute of the first half. Of course, the only goal of the contest still belonging to Felix Robinson, as Tynan unable to get a proper foot on it. Looked like a sky kick you might see on 4th and long instead of the pitch, as that one's easily wrapped up by Valeriano. Leaping effort from both Lewis and Allison. Lewis able to come away victorious. He is surrounded by white shirts. An impressive effort there from Parker Lewis. Is that ball bouncing around a little bit? Here's Goncalves getting a foot on it for the blue and orange. That pass picked off by Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli will leave it for Tynan. Tynan, he's quickly guarded by Sidi Ahmed. He's forced to get rid of it. Back to Mazzarelli. Good poke check there from Goncalves. Now it's Gutierrez. Gutierrez for Tynan. Tynan from the S in MSNC works his way towards the M. Forced to pivot maneuver, send it back deep for Hughes. Hughes, that pass, rifled from Mark. Mark gets feet on it, but that ball kicked far too hard for Mark to have time to set up any sort of play there. Now here's Allison. Allison thought about it and leaves it for Gutierrez, who gets it back to Allison. We'll kick it all the way across the field for a Knight concealed conveniently behind the blue tent. It's revealed to be Cam Welsh. Welsh for a mystery Knight, that's Mazzarelli. Now for Gutierrez. Gutierrez now for Welsh. Welsh works it deep into the attacking third. Good move on Nunez, creates room to shoot. Centering pass towards the middle, deflects off a Panther. Welsh in the area, able to run it down again. He's guarded by Nunez. Nunez kicks it straight up. That's Luca Ramirez there on help. Keyser able to get a head on it. Karam's behind him. Mazzarelli trying to create room to shoot. We have a whistle, a stoppage, and a foul. So Mazzarelli fouled just mere inches outside of the top of the key. Well outside the goalie box, but just outside of the paint. And this feels similar to the scenario in which Purchase scored their first goal. So we'll see if that's just the lucky spot on the field here this afternoon. Gutierrez and Tynan both positioned like they could take the shot, as there is a wall of 6 Panthers. Sorry, that's 5. One just off to the right of Nick Prelli. Now they crash towards the middle. It's Tynan to shoot. Joe, diving save. Valeriano knocks it away, and the Knights kept scoreless still. So the Knights opt to go straight for the net. I think that is the right call, given where the kick was on the field. Quinn Tynan, he scored one of those, I believe, against Sarah Lawrence that proved to be the difference maker. Bob and I were in the booth for that contest. So they let Tynan shoot again. Valeriano makes the save, and now it's Gutierrez sending that one towards the middle of the field. We'll see if there's any magic there. No, that ball ends up on the top of the cage, out of play. And Purchase escapes unscathed. Oliver Brown coming back into the game for Purchase. Also coming on, number 19, Isaiah Sadlier. Sadlier from New York. From Manhattan, New York. Both colleges within the Hudson Valley. Of course, the game being held in Newburgh. Purchase not too far from here. As that one's left up ahead, it's Tafoya. Tafoya with a step. He stays onside. He's quickly picked up by Wallace. Tafoya trying to create room to shoot. Good defense there from Wallace. Wallace, the poke check, gives the Knights room to breathe. Now here's Welsh. Welsh fires up ahead. Sliding effort. That's out of the reach of Ramirez. Keyser was in the area. He couldn't catch up to it. So some good passing for the Knights, but so far it has yet to amount to anything. As injured there is the goalkeeper, Valeriano. Valeriano down. Him and Keyser were both in the area. Valeriano rushing to the top of the box to get hands on it. Made a nice play. And Valeriano has been pitching a shutout now for roughly 65 minutes. He has played quite well. Of course, he has done a lot of the net minding for Purchase. Valeriano, of course, 7 games played, 7 goals allowed. 22 stops on the year, and he has picked up plenty more tonight, as the number for shots on goal for the Mount has ballooned to 5, a step up from 1 in the first half. And so far, Valeriano has stopped them all. The most important and the most impressive of which came on the most recent shot attempt, a free kick from Quinn Tynan. As that ball's thrown in, Valeriano good to remain into the contest. And now, that one out of play, as that's Sidi Ahmed working along the near sideline. He was very obviously out of bounds, but no line judge in the area to verify that, so of course the whistle comes just a little late. As the referee prepared to make and so we'll see what the stoppage was there. But for one reason or another, the ball will stick with Purchase. Perhaps a foul before Sidi Ahmed ended up out of play. Knights players a little confused as Nick Prelli sends that one away. Bevino gets a head on it, but he can't clear it. Nunez also gets a head on it. Horn makes a leaping stop. So Purchase able to work the ball in deep, but unable to get a serious shot on net. As Nunez got a head on it, it just found its way into the palms of Horn. And now here's Tynan across the midfield circle. He'll get to Hughes. Hughes a little bit of room to operate, now quickly picked up by Brown. Hughes leaves it for Mark. Mark up ahead. It's Keyser in the area. Keyser has Hughes. That pass goes through the legs of Hughes, but it's still loose. Welsh had an opportunity to shoot, got a foot on it. And Valeriano falls on it. Cam Welsh again, the star freshman for the Mount. He had a chance to get a shot off. It just looked like he couldn't get all of it. And it turns into just a fall on the grenade situation for Valeriano. And he'll do that quite well. Now here's Nick Prelli. Nick Prelli, just outside the midfield circle. He'll work it towards the far sideline out near the scorer's table. Now it's Purchase working with it Brown. Brown guarded by Hughes. Brown forced to get rid of it. Now gets the ball right back. Hughes in the area, not yet face guarding. Now Hughes putting some pressure on the ball. Hughes good defense. That pass rifled across the field. Nobody got a body on it, but nobody touched it. Now here's Sidi Ahmed as the Panthers have switched. Welsh plays some help defense. That pass fielded now by Nunez. Nunez gets it to Tafoya. Tafoya guarded by Gutierrez. Tynan able to poke away the loose ball. Felix Robinson, still the lone goal scorer here this afternoon. Nick Prelli and Mark collide. Mark winning that battle, sending the ball deep downfield as that's quickly returned by Gonzi Seguencia. Purchase wanting a call that will not come. Cam Welsh gets it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it. Keyser giving chase, but Valeriano just falls on the live grenade. Quickly gets rid of it. Took Nunez a second to realize that that ball was for him, but not turned over. Sliding tackle, Welsh on Robinson. Robinson appeared shaken up. He's still down. A yellow card swiftly awarded to Cam Welsh, the first of the half, but the third of the contest. As Robinson is still down, the referee holds the trainer along the sideline. The clock has stopped. So the referee making note of the lawbreaker in his pocketbook. It appears everything is up to speed. Play should resume shortly. Thankfully, Robinson is all right. So 23-26 is where the clock is currently stopped. Your score still 1-0 Purchase. And we are nearing crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, of course, being down 1-0 is a spot you never want to be. And the Knights, the offense has almost been there. And I think almost is applicable as the theme of the game for the Mount. I mean, the offense hasn't been dormant. The Knights have been able to work the ball in deep. They've been able to get a few shots off, but for the most part, Purchase has either answered the call or the Knights have managed to shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, of course, if you'll remember, the first and right now the only goal of the game was scored on a free kick. And the goal was an incredible effort and surely one to put on the fridge as that centering pass. As Wallace, the only man in the area, he'll get a foot on it, get it out of harm's way. Now here's Nick Prelli from way outside, just to the left of the net. Horn elects to let it go. It's a goal kick. Coming after the substitution, it's Christos Argyros coming back into the contest for Purchase, coming on in relief of Outman Aitsidi Ahmed. So as I was saying, the first and only goal of the contest was a free kick. It was an impressive goal. But that shot was set up by a yellow card from Sam Bevavino. And, I mean, a yellow card on a less than optimal spot on the field is usually a recipe for disaster. And the Knights have accumulated 3 yellow cards. None for Purchase as Hughes gets tripped up. Good defense there from Gonzi Seguencia. And he has played quite well. As Keyser gets a foot on it, he'll leave it for Hughes. Hughes centering pass, rifled, but nobody there to receive it. That one will end up behind the end line. Was hugging the end line all the way until it went out of bounds, out of play. Goal kick for Valeriano. Valeriano to kick it away, 21-40 counting down. Purchase looking to pick up 3 points and a win. The Knights right now looking just to scratch across the equalizer. Of course, in soccer, you're awarded 1 point for a tie and 3 points for a win. As that one's loose, Tynan grabbed on the jersey. And this will be a yellow card now for Purchase. So fresh into the game, it is Christos Argyros, number 18, gets a fistful of jersey and is swiftly punished. We'll see if the Knights can turn this into some momentum. The first yellow card of the contest from the Panthers. And in crunch time of a game you're leading by a goal, you just simply cannot afford to have silly mistakes like that. As Argyros just far too overzealous in his pursuit of defense. The ball on the midfield line. Gutierrez sends it in deep. The Knights crash hard, hits ahead of someone, and ends up just to the left of the net. A solid effort there. That's Alex Napoli. That's Ethan Wallace, number 16. A leaping effort. Got a head on it. It caroms just to the left of the net, and then there's a Panther down in the box. as the referee calls for a stoppage. The injured Panther, I believe that was maybe Luca Ramirez. That's number 3 in blue. We hope he's okay. Valeriano gets rid of it, and we're back to action. As that ball will pinball around and end up out of play along the far sideline. The referee signals it will go the way of the Knights. The throw in a good one over the head of the defender. Keyser was there. He had a play on it. Couldn't quite corral it. Couldn't leave it for the open Knight. The Purchase defense has been very good this afternoon. Mazzarelli leaves it for Bevino, who leaves it for Allison, who will leave it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez operating outside or out of the midfield circle. He'll leave it for Welsh. Welsh will play it off a bounce. It's Wallace with a step on Nunez. Crashing hard is Ramirez. Sliding effort to poke that ball away. Throw-in coming from Mount St. Mary. Purchase disputing the call on the field. A whistle and a stop as Sebastian Belinsky checks into the game for Mount St. Mary. Belinsky comes on for Mark. Throw-in, it's Tynan. Tynan the throw-in for Keyser in the middle of the field. Keyser gets a head on it. Mazzarelli almost got a foot on it. That ball still bouncing around the goalie box. Hughes will shoot it straight out of the air. It's blocked in front. Still loose. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it. Mazzarelli kicks it behind him. That ball's still loose. With speed, it's Welsh. Just wide. Cam Welsh. The ball was on his foot with room to work and room to shoot. Gets a shot off. It was a good one. Ends up just to the right of the net. And it's still 1-0. But now, under the 20-minute mark, the Knights' offense, at least right now, feels like it's firing on all cylinders as Valeriano, nobody home. Goal kick ends up out of play. Here's Belinsky now. The Knights have the momentum. The crowd feels like it's buzzing. Keyser's pass for Tynan. Tynan couldn't get a head on. Now here's Belinsky. Belinsky room to shoot. That's a good pass. Leaping effort, Valeriano to snatch it out of the air. And so an exciting last minute of soccer for the Mount. Purchase, for now, has stopped the onslaught as Robinson sends that one upfield, across the field. Giving chase is Tafoya. Tafoya, good job keeping that one in play. He puts the moves on, sends that one back towards the middle. Off the chest. Good job getting a shot off that one. Blocked. Purchase wanting a foul. Seemingly everyone in blue wanting a foul. The referees won't budge. And so maybe the Knights got away with one as Mazzarelli rifles that one upfield. Now here's Keyser with room. Keyser is onside. Belinsky in stride. Keyser falls. And no penalty. Keyser gets tripped up, but the referee keeps the whistle in the pocket. And the Knights sideline and Knights faithful are furious. Had that penalty been called, that would have been a penalty kick for Keyser, and now a yellow card on Mazzarelli. So Mazzarelli, as a captain, perhaps with some choice words. And now the goalkeeper, Noah Horn, gets a yellow card. Akin to the Oprah show, everyone on the Mount getting a yellow card here late. Likely some choice words for the ref on, frankly, what should have been a penalty on Ryan Keyser. Keyser had room to operate a perfect fast break opportunity. I mean, of course, in the heat of the moment, Purchase is going to try and knock that ball away by any means necessary. But perhaps a bit over-aggressive on defense. But as Bob and I always say, I mean, the referees, of course, they are not always right, but frankly, they are never wrong. As the referee probably explaining his side of the story to Tynan, as a duo of substitutions appears ready to check in for Purchase. Number 30, who is not rostered on the roster sheet I have been given, and number 88, Outman Ait Sidi Ahmed. And so a similar problem to what Bob and I had on Monday against Medgar Evers. Somebody on the field is wearing a jersey number that is not listed on the roster sheet. So the mystery man for Purchase, number 30, fresh into the game, fresh set of legs. Mazzarelli toes that one along the far sideline. Now here's Keyser with speed. Keyser stops on a dime, turns around, surveys some options, leaves it for Welsh. That's a good pass. Welsh centering pass intended for Tynan, blocked. But it will be a corner kick for the Mount. 17:44 to play. Couple of great offensive opportunities that culminated in what could have been a penalty against Ryan Keyser and in turn a couple of yellow cards for the Knights. But 17 and a half minutes, still plenty of time, and a corner kick. Not too many better ways to get a goal fast as Belinsky crashes hard near the ball. Gutierrez will put it on net. Leaping effort, Mazzarelli got a head on it. Karen's behind him. It'll go out of play. It will be a throw-in for Purchase right next to that corner flag. So if the Knights play the appropriate defense here, they'll be able to keep it deep within the Panthers' end, which of course is the goal. The Knights have done a good job turning the pressure up the last 5 or so minutes, but still, unfortunately right now, nothing to show for it. As Gutierrez puts the moves on, leaves it now for Tynan. Tynan tried to get it across the field. That one blocked. Mazzarelli guarded by Robinson. The two collide. No whistle. Mazzarelli able to come free. Mazzarelli trying to generate room to shoot. Good defense there from Robinson. Robinson the poke check. Mazzarelli will leave it for Hughes. Robinson blocks that one again. Now here's Tafoya with room. Tafoya working it right to left for Purchase. Mazzarelli playing good defense, able to force that one away. Still loose. A stoppage. A whistle and a free kick coming for Purchase. So a solid defensive effort there from Mazzarelli culminates in a whistle. A free kick coming for the Panthers, looking for an insurance goal of their own. We've just hit the 16-minute mark here in Newburgh. We're shaping up for a photo finish as that one's sent deep. Panthers all around. Nunez had a chance on it, couldn't get a body on it. Leaping effort from multiple parties. Tynan gets a head on it. The Knights just have to get it out of harm's way. Kicks that one straight up. Belinsky bodies it. The Knights trapped in their own end. Now leaves it for Tynan. Belinsky for Tynan. Tynan tried to get it out. Good defense there. Purchase quick on the double team. Now gets it up to Keyser. Keyser will leave it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez across the field. It's Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli knocks it down. Now he has room to operate. Mazzarelli outside of the midfield circle. Gives it to Welsh up along the far sideline. Welsh puts the moves on. Good spin. Trying to create rooms to shoot. Gets around Robinson. Welsh fires. Valeriano falls down it. So Cam Welsh, good job working it towards the middle of the field, creating enough space for him to shoot. Valeriano just plays it nicely off a bounce, keeps it out of the net, and it stays a one-goal game. Mazzarelli now with speed. Mazzarelli has some room. Mazzarelli with a step. Mazzarelli, the Knights looking for the equalizer. That one blocked and ends up out of play. I believe that'll be a corner kick. Alin Ganzi Seguencia has had an incredible defensive game tonight, or this afternoon, and it's as evidenced by the impressive defense he played on Mazzarelli there. As Parker Lewis comes back in the game for Purchase. The Panthers clinging to a one-goal lead. Here's Oliver Brown. Brown sends that one up ahead. Taken away. Tynan rifles that one upfield. Here's Welsh. Welsh was in the area, just couldn't quite catch up to it. It'll go out of play. Last touched by Tynan. Coming back into the contest for Purchase, the captain, number 9, Luca Lavini. Lavini will come on in relief of Felix Robinson. So 14:28 to play. The clock is stopped so as to allow enough time for Robinson to get off the field. The Panthers to throw it in. They do so successfully. Low line drive knocked down by Aitsidi Ahmed. That one will end up out of play, going the way of the Knights. Good throw in for Hughes. Now here's Tynan. Tynan, good first touch. Has a little bit of room to operate. Tried to get it to Belinsky. Nunez sizing up the defense. Nunez kicks it straight up. Still loose, bouncing around. No whistle, no stoppage. Now here's Tynan. Tynan works inside the goalie box. Centering pass. Just outside. Mazzarelli, room to shoot. That one blocked. The Knights able to corral it. His teammates letting him know he has time. Now here's Belinsky. Belinsky picked up by Nunez, sends that one towards the middle. Nobody home. Valeriano wraps that one up. 13:50 counting down to play here in the second half. That one bouncing around a little bit. Looked like it had a chance to be tucked home, but nobody there to do the honors. That one takes a weird bounce over the head of Sidi Ahmed. That one goes clean over the head of Parker Lewis. Bevino kicks it straight back. Here's Gutierrez, picked up by Lavini. He'll leave it deep back now for Hughes. Hughes tries to get it up ahead. That one deflected off a Panther, out of bounds. Coming back into the game, number 27, TJ Mark. He'll come on for Belinsky. Coming back into the contest for Purchase, Spencer Wheeler. The referee calls for another stoppage of the clock amid all the substitutions. Coming off for Purchase, Oliver Brown. That one fired in from Hughes. A strong throw, but nobody able to corral it just yet. That one kicked straight up. A sea of bodies. Tynan leaped for it. He can't come down with it. Now here's Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli leaves it for Wallace. Wallace on the near sideline. Mark crashes towards the middle of the field. Wallace, that pass up ahead. A bit of a wobbler, but Valeriano falls on it as Keyser falls over Valeriano. No whistle, no punishments of any kind for either side, so Valeriano will fire that one away on a goal kick. That one hits Lewis on the side of the head and takes a weird bounce, a bounce that favors the Knights, as that one will end up out of play. Last touched by a sliding TJ Mark. Throw in coming for Purchase. The throw in from Nunez to a sea of people right in front of the trainer's table. Mazzarelli takes a hard fall. And there's a whistle, there's a stoppage, there's a free kick. Impressive catch from Allison to prevent that ball from getting further and further away. Now here's Tynan. He'll have enough room to put this on deep should he choose to do so. The Knights have 5 wide across the length of the goalie box. Tynan will send that one on deep. That did collide off Lewis. Nunez, good effort there to get a head on it, but he can't get out of harm's way. Allison takes a fall. It'll be another free kick. This one now taken by Gutierrez. The Knights elect not to draw up a play, just keep the ball moving. That one's loose. Keyser gets a head on it, still bouncing around. Mazzarelli corrals it. Leaves it out now for Gutierrez. Gutierrez puts the moves on Lewis. Gutierrez across the field, giving chase is Tynan. Can he keep it in bounds? No, he cannot. So a bit of a squandered opportunity there for the Mounts, as Purchase will have time to throw it in. The throw-in held up just for a second, so as to get the second soccer ball off the field. As down on the field is an injured Panther, right along the goalie box. On comes the trainer for the appropriate medical attention. And we will take a brief step aside. And a huge blow for Purchase is coming off the field is number 13, Alwyn Gonzi Seguencia, who has played an incredible game on defense. His name comes up incredibly often, especially on the interior. So a huge loss for Purchase as he heads to the trainer's table. With the Knights, of course, trying to get the equalizer, losing who has been one of your premier defenders is certainly not a good thing for Purchase as that throw-in goes off the head of Lewis. The Knights control it for now. Hughes quickly chased by two Panthers. That's Lewis and Lavini. Hughes tying it up ahead. Now it's Mark. Mark with a step, gets a shot off. A falling stop from Valeriano. Mark had Valeriano on his heels, but Valeriano, unfazed, makes the stop, still 1-0. That is now the 8th shot on goal for Purchase, which means that is the 8th stop of the night for Valeriano. And Valeriano has made 22 saves all season. He has more than a third of that tonight, or 22 saves at least going into today. Of course, 22 plus 8 is now 30. But he has accumulated more than a third of his previous season total just today. And ladies and gentlemen, a few of these saves have not been cheapies. As Welsh creates room to shoot, that shot blocked. Good job by Wallace just to corral it. Now here's Keyser, leaves it back for Wallace, who leaves it back for Keyser. Under 10 minutes to play, the Knights still looking for the equalizer. Has that one taken away. Good defense there from Jacob Pence. Pence gets held up right in front of the trainer's table. There's a stoppage. And it'll be a yellow card for Dale Allison. The 6th yellow card awarded to Mount St. Mary. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 6 different cards for 6 different people. And so Allison, a rare mistake from the sophomore defense. He has been a steady hand on defense all year for the Knights as that one's rifled upfield by Pence. Good job getting a body on it. It's still loose. Lewis was in the area. He goes flying, unable to get a serious body on it. Horn makes sure Lewis isn't up to no good. Deems him a non-threat, gets that one away. As Carr, blasting music, drives on past his Keyser, will send it all the way across the far sideline for Welsh. Welsh is picked up by Wheeler. That one sent towards the middle, getting a foot on it is Ramirez. Here's Nunez. He's guarded by Welsh. Nunez gets rid of it, but the referees will say it'll go the way of the Mount. Under 9 minutes to play now. The big red button feels like it has been pressed as there's a whistle, a foul, and a free kick coming for Purchase. And so if you're the Knights, that's the last thing you want to do. You have the ball deep in the Purchase end, and a late foul will give the Panthers a chance to get the ball out of harm's way for now, as Felix Robinson and Martin Nick Preli at the bottom of your screen waiting to come back into the game today. That one's rifled up ahead. Allison gets a leg on it, leaves up ahead for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli with a little bit of room waiting for the Knights to come now. Here's Tynan. Tynan with speed up ahead. Good centering pass. Valeriano dives. He'll knock it down. The vision is there. He had Mark. Tynan's pass just a little too far up ahead. Valeriano falls on it. An impressive stat line for the first-year goalkeeper only grows. That one's bouncing around, loose all in front. Hughes gets a foot on it, kicks that one straight up. Leaping effort from the captain, Lavini. Allison in the area, he gets a foot on it, but is unable to clear it. A squib kick now fielded by Horn. Horn moving with a sense of urgency, 7:45 to play. Horn's kick straight up. Inside the goalie box, goes off the head of Tynan. Nunez gets a kick on it, will send that one across midfield. Hughes with speed, unable to play the ball. Now here's Wheeler. Wheeler's pass picked off by Vivino. Vivino sends that one way up ahead. It's Welsh along the far sideline. Welsh knocks it down. Waiting for a few of his teammates. Now Welsh makes a move. Welsh has Keyser in the area. Tries to get it towards the middle of the field. Can't. Good defense there from Purchase. The Panthers now pushing it right to left. That's Sidi Ahmed working along the far sideline. Centering pass. Tried to get that one towards the middle of the field. Taken away from Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli falls. Takes a hard shove in the back. A whistle. A foul. And a yellow card. So no protest from Sidi Ahmed. The referee whistles him over just to lay down the law. Free kick coming now for Bevavino. 7:03 to play. The clock is stopped. We'll see if the Knights have any magic in the conclusion of this one. Rifled up ahead, hits somebody in front, takes a purchase bounce. Now here's Tafoya. Tafoya picked up by Gutierrez. Good defense there from Gutierrez. No quit yet in the Knights as Gutierrez volleys that one up ahead. Here's Mark just outside the box, towing the end line, volleys that one. Valeriano snatches it out of the air. So nothing comes to pass. 6:35 and counting down. Valeriano fires. That one takes an walkward angle off the foot of Valeriano, and the Knights able to force yet another turnover. So the Knights have put on an onslaught so far in the last 3-ish minutes, as it's a whistle and another free kick for the Mount. This one almost head on with the net. So Gutierrez to kick it as the Knights get in position. Gutierrez an impressive distance out, but he is facing the net. And so the Knights will not drop a play. Instead, it will be Gutierrez trying to get it up ahead to Wallace. Wallace, good job corralling that pass back in. Valeriano leaping save. And so Valeriano jumping out of the gym to take that one out of the air, and he's slow to get up. So Valeriano, the first-year goalkeeper from the Bronx, has shown he is not afraid to put his body on the line. The second time today that we've had to stop action and make sure he's okay. He appears okay. The referee will place the ball in the appropriate spot. But what a game it has been for Luca Valeriano. He is 5 minutes and 40 seconds away from pitching the second consecutive shutout for Purchase. Of course, that'd be the third consecutive, as that one's loose in front. Horn wanted a call that did not come, so Horn forced to go do it himself. And so, of course, if the score holds up where it is, this would be the third shutout in a row pitched by Valeriano. September 27th, a 1-0 victory for Purchase, and Tuesday, a 0-0 draw. So Valeriano has been on a heater, and he is certainly playing like it, as the Knights operating deep out of their own end with 5 minutes to play and counting down. Mazzarelli plays the bounce. Good pass up ahead. Now it's Mark. Mark has a step. Purchase in transition. Good defense there. Still loose. Pence can't take it away. Mark's pass for Keyser. Keyser fires. He scores! And there's the equalizer. It's TJ Mark to Ryan Keyser. And in the 40th minute, Mount St. Mary has tied the game. 1-1 your score. The Knights have been knocking on the door for what felt like the last 10 minutes, and they finally capitalize. And we're all tied at 1 with under 5 to play. And so what was 86 minutes of a perfect defensive game for Purchase. TJ Mark with a step, makes the move on Pence, leaves it for Keyser, who buries it in the bottom left of the net, and we're all tied at 1. So the Knights now have managed to grab the equalizer, but with all the momentum in the world and 4.5 minutes, they want the lead. We'll see if Purchase is able to regroup and perhaps put in the game-winning goal for themselves. But right now, the Panthers are certainly on their heels. It has felt that way for most of the second half, as that one finds its way all the way back to Valeriano. Will kick it away straight up. Giving chase is Sidi Ahmed. Wallace gets a head on it. Pence now plays it. Pence sends it deep for Horn. Giving chase is Lewis. But Horn wraps that up before he's able to get there. We're under 4 minutes to play now. So both sides a sense of urgency. The Knights can now take a deep breath knowing that right now they're not in a position to lose the game. So, of course, if this result holds up, each side would get a point. It would be the second consecutive tie for the Panthers. As Robinson tried to get a foot on it, couldn't. It'll be the Knights operating out of their own end. Wallace flicks that one across midfield. Mark has that one taken away by Pence. Pence falls, a whistle, free kick coming for Purchase. That ball kicked late. Purchase wants some sort of delay of game type call. Nick Prelli to fire it away, an impressive leg talent for Purchase. We've seen a few of his kicks. Nick Prelli likely to try and get this one in deep and hope somebody in blue and orange can get a body on it. We're approaching the 3-minute mark. Nick Prelli directing traffic. God dang it. There goes a stat sheet now with under 3 minutes left to play. Nick Prelli fires that one in deep. Can somebody get a body on it? It hits someone, but it does not take a favorable bounce. It ends up out of play. We'll see where the referees want to spot this one. It appears they will signal it the way of the Knights. So 2:40 to play, and Mount St. Mary will look to push it upfield. That pass intended for Keyser. Keyser couldn't corral it. Still bouncing around. It'll be Purchase who comes away with possession. Here's Tafoya, room to shoot, blocked by Bevavino. Good defense there. Here's Robinson. He'll leave it for Ramirez. He'll leave it now for Pence. Pence rifles that one across. Bevavino gets a foot on it. That one goes all the way out of play. Straight into the Purchase bench. Quick throw-in intended for Lewis. Lewis never got a body on it. Dale Allison able to corral it. Now here's Gutierrez just trying to get it out of the Knights' own end. Now it's Hughes. Hughes gets it to Welsh, who gets it to Mazzarelli, who will swing it across the field. It's Gutierrez. No 2-minute warning in soccer, ladies and gentlemen. We'll play on. 1:55. That one ends up out of play. Throw-in coming for Purchase. Pence wastes no time. He'll leave it now. Hard hit. A whistle and a stoppage as Outman Ait Sidi Ahmed took a shot. That was an American football hit. As Nick Prelli will send it away for Purchase. 90 seconds to play. You can't ask for a finish more exciting than this one. Nick Prelli directing traffic, waiting for his teammates to get into the appropriate spot. Nick Prelli right in front of the scorer's table, launches that one in deep. Tynan gets a head on it out behind the end line. And so it will be a corner kick now for Purchase with 1:12 to play. Do the Panthers have some last-minute magic in them? They have not scored since the 28-minute mark of the first half. You hear Tafoya on the corner for Purchase. We are under a minute to play. Tafoya, arms raised, sends it away. 50 seconds and counting down. His kick over everything. Bevavino gets a head on it. Now Robinson, of course, scored earlier, sends that one towards the net. There's Horn there to fall on it. The Knights now have 40 seconds for a counter push. Hughes fires, as Horn fires up ahead. Mark, looking like an outfielder, tracking a fly ball, able to get a foot on it. Now it's left ahead for Mark. Mark has Welsh up ahead. That pass falls on it. Valeriano. Welsh looked like he had it there for a sec. Valeriano just able to snatch that one out of the air, keep this one tied at 1. 16 seconds and counting down. Purchase operating deep in the Knights' end. You hear Tafoya. Tafoya tries to create space. And here's Nick Prelli. He'll pass. Now it's Tafoya. Tafoya shoots. Wrapped up by Horn. 3, 2, 1. And that's how this one ends this afternoon. It's a 1-1 draw. And ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the more exciting ties you'll ever see, as the Knights score the equalizer in the 40th minute. A beauty from Ryan Keyser to tie the game at 1. So Purchase, they were the underdogs going into this one. The Panthers, despite leading most of the game, unfortunately can't bring home 3 points, but they'll take home 1. 1, of course, being better than nothing. So the Knights fall to 2-1-2. The Panthers fall to 1-3-2. So an impressive effort from both sides culminates in a 1-1 draw here on Alumni Day in sunny Newburgh, New York. A beautiful afternoon, but no decision. And ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in the booth for the women's soccer game. They are also taking on Purchase. That game is at 4 o'clock. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making myself and the men's game a part of your Saturday afternoon. And don't go anywhere. I will be back at 4 o'clock.